Okay, people. So, yeah, this is an odd one, right? Because it's the co-main event, but actually became the main event, but not until after the fact. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about Mateusz Gamrot against Ludovic Klein. This was a good matchup, right? This was a really good matchup. I was looking forward to this. And the thing being, I was uh, I was ready to go one way. But during the preview, I then just thought, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. Right? And it turns out I was right. You know? So as I said, this was like Ludovic Klein. He is like, you know what I mean? Because he's so dynamic on the striking. He'll throw a left hook and then he'll throw a left head kick. You know what I mean? He's that kind of striker. It's very quick spins. You know, he came close many a time with the spin kicks. You know, he feels like a larger Kyler Phillips. I feel they're very similar. You know, they're very similar. Both dynamic strikers. You know, and coming into this, Ludovic was like, my takedown defense is bar none. And Gamrot was like, yeah, but you ain't had me. You know? Now, we've heard both statements said a myriad of times, you know? And it doesn't necessarily always, hearken to the truth, to the reality of things. And I think starting off with this fight, ain't people thought, because Ludovic hit a jab and Gamrot kind of went down to a knee. I'm not sure if the knee actually touched, but he kind of went down. It was a little rocky. I think it was more of a slip than being hurt, though. Looking at it, because it was as Gamrot was moving, he's transitioning to the side. So I think it was that got him. But that's how it started, because, Gamrot was pushing forward. Ludovic was backing up. Not so backing up, but just moving, right? Lateral movement, trying to keep out of range, all of that. But in backing, in moving, it allowed Gamrot to, get takedowns, to smother him and his space allocation. Like Gamrot can take, and he did it, right? He can take you down wherever you are in the octagon. It's just easier if you run out of, real estate to maneuver into. And after the weird incident of him kind of going down, but not going down, he then just gets a takedown. Gamrot gets a takedown. And it's just, he's so tenacious with, he's grappling. And I think DC said it best. He, instead of, and we see it sometimes, people, and they go for a single leg or a double, and it's not quite working. But they just stick to that thing. When you want to keep someone off balance, right? That's the way to do it. Keep someone off balance. Keep them guessing. Take them one way, then suddenly take them the next way. Boom, down. Don't always do that. But that's what Gamrot did. His takedowns were so good. And the first one, right, that took a little bit longer. But then after that, some of those takedowns were just easy. Right? Easy. And so he gets a takedown. I think it was it was slightly before halfway through the round, but once he got it, that was it. You know, Klein just could not get out of the predicament, right? And another thing Gamrot was doing, he was flowing so well. Every time Klein tried to shift his body, maneuver himself to try something, Gamrot just shifted, always was above his opponent, right? Because if they're higher than you, they're getting up. Gamrot did not allow any of that shit. Any of that. And he landed shots, he landed knees. It wasn't, just holding someone. Now, like, he possibly could have landed more shots, but he was working. He definitely was working. Now, and he rolled out the first round like that. Second round started, and just straight away, Gamrot gets a takedown. You know what I mean? There was no, trying anything else. He just got that takedown straight away, which is smart, right? You can see that you can hold someone. So, yeah, just do your thing, And again, he just controlled the fight. Now, Klein was able to get up, but I think there was 90 seconds left. It was hardly any time. So nothing then happened at the end of the round. And then in the third round, right, Klein stuffed the first few attempts. So now we had, this affair on the feet. It was clear Gamrot was tired. I think Klein was tired as well, And Klein started to land some more shots, right? Landed some good shots. But so did Gamrot, right? Gamrot was landing too. Some nice combinations, So Gamrot isn't just wrestling. He does have strikes, you know what I mean? Does have strikes. I think it's that thing, there's some people and their grappling is so good, but their striking game isn't up to that same standard yet. Like Tatiana Suarez, monster on the ground. Her striking isn't the best. She's definitely working on it, but it's not there yet. But Gamrot, his striking is definitely a lot better. It's not the best, but it's a lot better. And he was landing strikes, landed a head kick himself, and avoided a lot of the strikes that Klein was throwing, even though he was tired, right? Because he did look at the clock. Did look at the clock early. Wasn't even trying to mask it either. He just looked. But yeah, Klein, got taken down. And that was it. Gamrot controlled the rest of the round and really just solidified his position. At the end, he called out a few people, called out Paddy. Good fight, right? Definitely a good fight. Called out Benoit Saint-Denis, and especially with the UFC going back to Paris for a fight night, that is a main event right there. That's something that makes sense, unless they book them for something else, Madison Square Garden, there's a heap of other cards, right? So maybe they do one of them, but that's a possible one, And I do think if anyone deserves a title shot, you would definitely go Gamrot over Paddy, So, yeah, it's really, man, it's an interesting division right now. You know what I mean? It's an interesting division, but Mateusz Gamrot has just drawn his line in the stand and said, motherfuckers, do not forget me.